thank you for being here today. We're starting a new series. If you see some things here, the idea of today, the series is called Junction. It's an interesting word. I think, we have a cowboy somewhere here. I think the better name for this will be road sign. Okay, I want to start with a statement, okay? Life is hard.
That's right. Amen.
Right? Life is hard. And at one point or another, you are going to have some sharp turns coming your way. Some stop signs, some detours. What else we have here? Some do not enter. Some rest stops. But in this life, we're all going to experience this. Today, actually, we're going to talk about taking a sharp turn. Things can take a sharp turn. And have you ever tried to plan a road trip or something like that you're so excited about, or an event or a birthday party, or we're going to go here, and then all of a sudden plans just crash? Right? You were excited. Anybody wants to share their story? Anything that you were planning? Yeah, Savannah?
Okay, so last year, senior year, me and my friends wanted to do a road trip to like this local town. And I was like, guys, we got the place, we got the money, blah, blah, blah. And then like one by one, day after day, everyone was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. Yeah, no, I don't do it. And I was like, guys, what is this? And they're like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. And I was like, you know what, whatever.
All right, anybody else? Yep, we're here.
So summer my freshman year, my brother wanted to take us all to San Francisco, but like that never happened.
That never happened? All right.
Maybe this is in third grade, and my dad, he decided to go on a road trip from all the way to Texas, but he uses GPS that's like really bad. So we ended up going through Nevada and all the states that were north of Texas.
Yeah.
So it just was like 4 days instead of 2.
Okay, that's a good one. Anybody else? Yeah, Robert?
So this was for a campus conference, so everybody else was taking plane, like going on the plane, and I was like, I'm trying to save money so that I can spend more money when I'm there. So I would take the bus, and this was in San Antonio, Texas, and so I remember being on this bus forever, and then finally they're like, all right, we've crossed the border into Texas, and I'm like, thank God we're here. And the guy was like, oh no, we got to Texas, we're not in San Antonio, bro. It's gonna be like 12, 14 more hours.
Oh my goodness.
So we were just like, I was just heartbroken, and I was like, it's so much bigger than I thought it was. And I ended up getting an ear infection on the bus. It's just
Perfect, right? Now, if you could go anywhere in the world, okay, anywhere in the world, where would you like to take a road trip to? Okay, talk to the person next to you. Talk to the person next to you.
Where do I want to go?
Where?
What's the question?
Where, if you were to take a road trip,
Ooh, I want to do this when I graduate. One to San Diego because it's not as long.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, you're excited. You want to go now? All right, listen up.
I know.
All right, any good ones? Where would you like to go? Maybe you're excited. You heard something interesting. Where would somebody like to go? Any interesting places? Road trip. So no Europe.
New York.
Okay. New York. That's far. It was like what, 5 days? No. That's long. Philadelphia. Okay. Philly, yeah. Alaska. That'd be nice. I would like that one. Going up there. Yeah.
So I'm gonna go for the realistic road trip. So one is San Diego because it's really like 3 hours. It's easy.
2.5 if you drive fast. Yeah.
Okay. And then the other one is like NorCal, Oregon area. I think that would be like.
There you go.
It's not super long, but it's like you do it in one shot, so you can you don't have to sleep somewhere
anywhere.
and then go.
That's good. It's good. Yep.
so Alex, 2.5 if you don't obey this.
Realistic road.
Summer, we tried to plan out a road trip where everyone from our home were stopping in cities that was in a circle around the United States.
We tried to do that.
Nice.
According to Google Maps, it would have taken like 15
All right, so Like I was saying, in life you're gonna encounter this different challenges, different things that come into your life that you're not expecting. That all of a sudden they just change everything. You know, when I was 12 years old, my mom, I'm from El Salvador, and then my mom decided to move to the United States. So that was a sharp turn, because my mom used to do everything. You know, she'll cook and do everything for us, and then my mom is gone, and guess who was cooking? Right? Guess who? My sister.
Hey.
But she could only make like spaghetti. To this day, I'm like, I don't want spaghetti, because that would be like lunch and dinner and breakfast. Delicious. Yeah, just for breakfast, just add syrup and like. Yeah. So you need.
Like elf.
No, it really. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I didn't eat that. But it really changed our lives. I mean, I was not expecting that. All of a sudden, you know, we have to take care of a lot more things. You know, my mom was there. It was like, it was kind of sad at one point. You know, just saying, you know, they will come and sell things at the house, and I would say, Mom, do you? Oh, my mom's not here. You know, and it was very painful. And then for many years, we just kind of lived with that and we got used to it. Now, when I was 18, I actually, we decided to move to the United States with my sister. We were tired of spaghetti. And then that was another sharp turn. Because, I lived in this country all my life. That's my food, that's my people, that's my language, that's my culture. All my friends were there. Just imagine right now, you're what, 16, 14, some of you, 18, some of you maybe. That all of a sudden you are just taken out away from here. You go to a country where you don't know many people. And then you have to start new. Like, that's it, you're done. And then all the friends you have, you can only talk to them maybe on the phone, or, the food is gone. I mean, your bed is not there anymore. Your room you had, just life changed. And, and so we got here, and we didn't speak the language, so that was hard. We didn't have the food. There was a lot of things. I missed my friends. And it was really hard. I was not born thinking, I'm just going to change my life. It just happened. But at one point or another, you and I will experience things like that. You will experience things that you were not expecting. You were like, well, where did this came from? Why did my parents divorce? Why did somebody got sick? Why did somebody die? I hear somebody talking. But Moses can relate to us. And this week we're going to be talking about Moses. Moses actually has like the craziest story. I mean, he went through the ringer. He had so many sharp turns in his life. And if you think about anybody else that had so many changes and so many things happening to him, I mean, Moses is one of those that are like, whoa, Moses, I mean, things just really changed for you. So we're going to read and we're going to try to learn from what he experienced. And hopefully God can talk to us so that we can learn from him. So have you ever been in a car and somebody takes a sharp turn? You're like, whoa, where did that came from? You didn't expect it, right? Some of you like it, yeah. Some of you like, do it again. See, but when those changes happen, sometimes we feel angry. We feel angry that things are not going the way we thought they were going to go. We're like, oh man, I just hate that. That shouldn't have happened. And why me, right? And you feel angry. You feel afraid. You feel afraid that things might not change. You feel afraid that, what's next? This changed and now I'm insecure. What else is coming? You feel helpless. You feel helpless that, what if this is my life now? What's going to happen? What can I do? So let me tell you about Moses, okay? Want to hear about Moses? Moses went through a lot. When he was first born, he was born a slave. Now that's a sharp turn right there. Whoa! Wait, what? We're slaves? I didn't expect that. So Moses is born, and he's born, in the Hebrew nation in the ancient Egypt, and he is a slave. And the Pharaoh actually is afraid that people are going to raise up and create an army So he actually decides and he makes this decree that every child, like every male boy, every baby boy born from the slave will be killed. And that was Moses' part of that. So that's a sharp turn. Now you have a hitman after you. Now his mom decides to refuse that. She's like, well, my son is not going to die. And I can I can relate to that. We have a baby, Max. He's crazy, but he's cute and we love him. And if somebody were to say, all right, Max is going to die, I would not just say, like, oh, here it is, take it. Now, I will do whatever I can to avoid that. So Moses' mom actually does that. She's like, okay, first she actually hides them. And they try to hide him, and then they're like, hey, this is not going to work. What do we do? So she decides to put him on a basket and put him down the Nile River. Now, that's crazy. Because, he could just flip around and that's it, it's gone. There's crocodile, I don't know. Just doing that is crazy. Just thinking, I'm not going to see you again, but I hope this works. Now, I can imagine the desperation of the mom just like, and I want her to let go. But then she decides to trust. Well, this is my only chance. So she lets go. And that's a sharp turn for Moses' life. Not just a slave, not just wanting to be killed, but now he's just abandoned. His parents are not there anymore. And I don't know if you're going through some things, but I hope you feel better now. But it's not over, okay? It's kind of cool because things kind of get better. Because the person that actually picks him up is the daughter of Pharaoh. The same guy that wanted to kill him. Now the daughter actually picks him up and he grows up in the house. And he grows up as royalty. But he knew that he still was, a Hebrew. And there was a day, so things are great, right? Moses' life turned for the better. Things are good. And one day he sees this guy really beating up one of the slaves. And he's mad about it, so he goes after him and he saves the slave, but actually he killed the other guy. And he's like, well, I'm in trouble now. I shouldn't have done that. He tries to hide the guy. He tried to bury him, but there was witnesses, so he's like, okay, this is not going to work. So he actually runs away. And he goes to this town called Midian. And that's a sharp turn, right? It's like, what? Things were great. All of a sudden, I was trying to do something nice, and things just changed. And that's yet another turn. So he's not really, his life is really kind of intense, kind of crazy. And now what we're going to read about, this is what happened next, okay? In Exodus chapter 3, verse 1 through 11. And this is what we're going to do. I want to have you read it. We have 11 verses, so the first 11 people right here, you're going to read one each. And so whatever shows up on the screen, you read it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hey, perfect. So you can go and start reading the first one. So this is what happened.
Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God.
There the angel of the God appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up.
So Moses thought, I will go over and see the strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am.
Do not come any closer, God said. Take off your sandals, for the place where you are standing is holy ground.
Then he said, I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God.
The Lord said, I have indeed seen the misery of my people in Egypt. I have heard them crying out because of their slave drivers, and I am concerned about their suffering.
So I have come down to rescue them from the land of the Egyptians and to bring them up out of that land into the good spacious land, a land flowing with milk and honey.
my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt.
But Moses said to God, "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?"
Okay. Moses have gone through a lot already, right? We agree on that. And now, God shows up. Not just regularly, he shows up in a bush. And he's like, wait, what's going on? Is that you, God? Is that you? And he has this experience with God. I mean, that is a sharp turn right there. A personal encounter with God. And what God says next is incredible because God says, hey, I want to use you. I want to use you. Not just to save one people, not just to save a couple, not just to save your family. You're going to save everyone back in Egypt. You're going to go get all those people. It's like, whoa, that is a sharp turn. It's like, wait, what? That's a lot of people. God, I don't want to do that. I mean, actually, do you know that I killed the guy over there? And they're like waiting for me. And actually, Moses started making all kinds of excuses. He's like, I don't think, who am I? What can I do? Really? How can I do anything? There's over 2 million people over there, and I have to go talk to the Pharaoh, and it's going to get bad for me. This is not going to be good for me. I don't want to do it. Actually, I don't have to tell you that he didn't want to do it. Look at Exodus 4, verse 11 and 12. He actually says it. It says, Moses said to the Lord, pardon your servant. Lord, I've never been eloquent, neither in the past nor since you have spoken to your servant. I am slow of speech and tongue. The Lord said to him, who gave human beings their mouths? Who make them deaf or mute? Who gives them sight and make them blind? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go, I will help you speak, and I will teach you what to say. And I think this is what we want to learn from here. Because when life takes a sharp turn, this is what God is saying to you. Hey, I am God. I'll be with you, and I will help you. No matter what situation you're going through, no matter whatever situation you're going to go through, God says to you and to me, I am God. I'll be there for you. I can help you. Now, I know that many of us have gone through a lot of things here. But also something else that I know there's a lot more things coming your way. That I know it's going to happen. And you should be aware. There are things in your life that are going to come that you're not expecting. That you're going to have to decide to trust and decide to learn from the experience. What I was telling you, when I came here, all this crazy stuff was happening, and I didn't see. Honestly, after the first year, I wanted to go back. I'm like, I'm done here. There's no good pupusas. But then I thought, spaghetti back at home? No, I'm staying here. No, and it really was hard, but after a while, I started getting used to it. My mom was here, and my sister, and then my mom started going to church, and my sister started going to church, and I didn't want to go to church, but eventually I did. And that changed the rest of my life. See, that sharp turn it was painful, it was really hard, changed my entire, destiny. And that's what God can do with your life now. See, there's things that you've gone through, but let me tell you, the hardest things that you're going through, or the hardest things that you're going to go through, are the things that are going to define you, like the way you deal with them. Those are going to be your jewels. Those things that are the hardest things that you hate, that's going to become a gift, because you're going to be able to help other people with that. Moses, he's like, man, I've gone through so much, but I understand what it is to be a slave. I saw that. I lived that. I saw what it is. I'm going to go. And you know the story, right? You know what happened. God used them in an incredible way. See, and I think that's what we can learn from Moses as well. You're going to go through a lot of things. Your families are going to go through a lot of things. Some of your parents might go through a divorce. That's crazy to think. I mean, prayerfully not. Some of you are going to experience broken relationships. Some of you are going to have somebody in your life die out of nowhere. And what do you do? What do you do with those things? What do we do with that? What can we do? Moses said, God, I'm going to trust you. I have all these excuses. I have all those. I'm not the guy. I should not go. But because of what you said, because of what you're telling me, that you're going to be with me, I can go through this. See, when life hits you, just know this. God has a plan. And maybe you don't feel like you can handle it at the time, but God is saying to you and to me, I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to help you. And you're going to go through this, and I'm going to be with you. There's three things that I want you to encourage you to think about. There's when we have to deal with hard things. So one is to rest in God's presence. You don't have to endure alone. Whatever you're going through, you don't have to endure alone. Number two is to remember God's promises. He doesn't just promise, he actually doesn't promise that life is going to be easy. But he promised that he's going to be there with you. And that I love. And the last one is to rely on God's preparation. Because God is preparing you now to do greater things. Imagine if it comes to you and he says, hey, I need you to go and go help out in that other country. You're like, whoa, God, I'm not. No, I shouldn't. I don't even have papers. I can't go. What is God going to do with you? What is God going to do with those experiences? When things take a different turn, God can use your pain to grow you. God is going to use your pain. See, that thing that you've gone through, that thing that is the most painful for you in your life right now, that the worst thing that you think could happen to you, God's going to use it to grow you, to make you stronger. So next week, we're going to continue talking about this, but at this time, we're going to go to our squad.